chin. Gang, gang. I don't like nobody. We can get gangster. We can keep it cordial. How you want to go about it? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gent. Who owns the copyright on tragedy? Because the way it's really supposed to work is that someone else has a tragedy and we're supposed to feel empathy. There's no way, there is no absolute way it should be anything else. No one has the copyright, no one holds the trademark for tragedy. I do want to take a moment and I want to give a RIP to Drakeo the Ruler. He's a young rapper, was stabbed in the neck last night at a concert in Los Angeles. He ended up paying with his life. So he was a promising young artist, and not anymore. So RIP to Drakeo the Ruler. So the trademark. We clearly have some individuals who think that they own the trademark and the copyright on all tragedy. It doesn't matter if they get there first or they get there last. As soon as they come, people just move out of the way like Moses splitting the Red Sea. They just, you know. So when we think in terms of who owns the copyright or the trademark on suffering, it's never the people that have witnessed the suffering or been there in the suffering or taken part in the rebirth and the rebuilding of these tragedies. Everyone is like, I'm the owner of this trademark, of this tragedy. This tragedy is mine. I'm going to monetize it. I'm going to exploit it to the heavens and earth beyond. You got to make that make sense to the real world. You got to make that make sense to the tax man at the end of the year, right? How your taxes are fucked up because you own the trademark of tragedy. Don't we know these tragedies belong to God? These tragedies belong to God. These tragedies don't belong to Molly Golightly or Tiffany Marie or that gassy lady, The Voices, like whoever it is, right? Got to get up first thing in the morning or last thing at night or in the middle of the night when the rest of the good world is sleeping. You people are up intoxicated, talking shit, trying to reaffirm that you own the trademark of tragedy. I tell you what, Molly Golightly called me at 2:30 and 2:31 a.m. That's hooker time. Nothing happens good after midnight, right? The only people that are still awake at 2:30 in the morning fucking around, holy shit, are the fucking tragedy pimps, right? Tragedy pimps. You look at these people who live in oppression, who own the trademark of these tragedies, and let me tell you what, their lives are sorry. You don't ever see them hardly leave the house. When they do, they're getting shut down. When they get shut down, they come back to hometown, USA, and what do? They just run their fucking beaks. Just run off at the mouth. I don't own any tragedy. I don't own any trademark. I don't own any copyright. These tragedies belong to the families that are enduring them. That's it. Nobody else possesses any portion of any of this. Probably we are something like crazy for going as far and as deep as we have so far, right? Other people on the outside are just looking in and they're like, wow, none of this is about that girl. Because at first glance, you can't see how any of this is about that girl. And it loosely is, right? But at the current time and date, it's stuff that only creates more sadness, right? It's not drama. It creates sadness. It creates despair. It creates situations where, you know, people watching become emotionally fixed and fixated and tied to the tragedies. You have people that would harm themselves because of things that happen here on YouTube. And you just can't even imagine, right? You're like, how could we feel like we possess the right to protest at people's jobs? You're not protesting for that little girl. You're protesting against employment for a man who is the victim of an abduction of his daughter. And somehow we think, let me back up. You guys do know what's going to happen, don't you? These people that don't want to be investigators, but think that by standing somewhere and hollering and disturbing the peace, and not even legally getting all of the protest permits and materials and all of that jazz, somebody's going to get hurt. I assure you, somebody will end up getting hurt. And I assure you, look at the Gabby Petito situation. You had JLR almost get knocked in the dirt like a fence post. And, right? If you're going to go to jail, you might as well put your hands on it. Right? I plan, this is just what it is. I've already talked to all my people that could be affected by any dumbass fugazi protests. And I said, here's a little bond money. Here's a little bond money. Here's a little bond money. When that man shows up here, I'm going to dog him out like he owes me money. As soon as I dog him out, I'm going to call the police on both of us. He'll go to the hospital, I'll go to jail. Right? If that's the way it has to work, then that's the way it has to work. Right? I let you make it in Tennessee because I was uncertain of the criminal laws there, and I just didn't want to have any more extra trouble out of town, right? So you come to Dallas, my friend, and I am going to put my hands all over you. All over you, sir. In the worst way. But keep it within that misdemeanor range. You come to my folks' house, you come to my dead sister's house, you better bring the EMTs with you, sir. I do not plan on letting you come here and do anything to hurt my family. So you come here and you will be springing a leak. I assure you of that. I promise you. Right? I have no qualms about promising you that. I promise you. I am not going to video you. I am not going to have somebody else video me. If you come here and you mess with my family in this time, you too, white boy, one of y'all is going to get hurt big time. One of you is going to get hurt, probably both of you. I got no qualms about kneecapping either one of you. I'll make sure that when you take a step for the rest of your life, your knee and your ankle scream, Benny Keys. I promise you, you will not come to my house. And you will not. I own the trademark and I own the copyright on my family. You come to my family, sir, and I will hurt you with these hands, nothing else. I'm gonna hurt you. I can't wait until you get here. I will hurt you like you've never been hurt before. Do not try it. I don't want to hurt nobody. But you come there, and you, by just you getting out of the car, you got to know I'm gonna meet you before you get to your protest spot, and I'm gonna dog you out. I'm gonna dog you out. I've seen you people got this stuff all over the internet, stalking me and my family. If you come to any place associated with my family, I will hurt you. I don't want to, but I will hurt you badly. Super badly. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Live to protest another day. Now, the people that I've just mentioned are the chief offenders. They believe, first of all, let me tell you this. I've pulled up, I have some very revealing prison paperwork from White Boy Lockdown. That dude has an arrangement of sexually charged crimes while being incarcerated. While being incarcerated. He waited to go to prison to start taking ass. I've spoken to somebody that was in the same dorm as him, and they tell me that the whole time White Boy Lockdown was locked down, he had shit stains in the front of his boxer shorts. You do the math. How do you get shit stains in the front? I'll tell you how. Because you were taking men's ass in the can, right? At the head. In the head, you was taking ass, boy. I got the paperwork to show it. That man caught 3 real world charges, sexual charges. Masturbating with fully erect penises, all kinds of shit. Looking at guards while he masturbates, all of that. Yeah, I don't really care either. But when you handle dicks in prison and then you come home and you get somebody else that's damaged just like you, who else is gonna deal with a man that comes home from prison with shit stains in the front of his drawers? Who's gonna deal with that? Somebody that's damaged already themselves, right? Holy shit. Now, white privilege is real. White privilege is very real. You only see Caucasian people here doing this shit. You're not seeing Q Carlock doing any of this crazy fucking nasty shit. Although, you know, she may have been involved in her own fucking fiasco. Who knows? Obsidian, as a beautiful black queen, she doesn't come here and do this shit, right? The African American queens that are involved in this case, they're not doing the same shit that white folks are doing, right? We've run off just about all of the good African American minds from even wanting to be involved in Caucasian problems. There are a few beautiful black queens that still find that substance inside of them to still help little white children. Let me tell you what, We don't sign our names at the bottoms of these tragedies. We don't print our name on the lapel of tragedies. We don't ask for a copyright or a soundtrack or have to publish any of the music that the birds sing, because God owns all of those things. God owns all the tragedy. God owns all the gifts, all the blessings. God owns all of the tangibles and intangibles. His hand is in everything that we do, everything we touch, everything we think about, everything we taste, hear. God is in that. God is in the design of that, right? You know, I've had about 20 hours to think about my sister. And I know that I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock. Like, it's not real. I actually called her last night. It's very strange the way, especially with someone that was as listening as she had turned into at the end. It's still so hard and surreal to try to understand how all the suffering is just over now, right? Like it's over. And you start to try to calculate the dialect, right? Like, is this God's design? It has to be, right? It has to be God's design to take someone from the suffering. I mean, you can take one person away that's causing the suffering, and then the suffering that you felt during the time they were still alive, that wasn't the real problem. But that was the stand-in problem until the real problem got there. Yeah, Doug says cocksucker a lot. I guess you are what you eat. I don't know. He just is all the time talking about male genitalia. I don't, help me understand, because I don't understand it. These people have done nothing except accrue money and fans and sponsorships. Because guess what? These people, some of these people have been in the court of law. Doug's been in the court of law. Doug knows how it feels to stand there. I mean, if you listen to the story, Doug went to prison for something he didn't do. So you would think that Doug would be the first person that would have the sort of empathy that would allow him to understand that people can even go as far as being stood in jail and be innocent, or stood in jail and everyone looking at you believes because of the color of the clothes you're wearing and your choice in jewelry that you've already done something wrong. And so to Doug took a gun charge for another man and did 3 years. And somehow Doug doesn't have the understanding of what due process is, because Doug suffered every day of the 3 years. He wants you to believe he was there because he was innocent and he did it for someone else. Try to make that make sense. You can't. You absolutely can't. And the worst part of all of this is these people, they're not even smart enough investigators to figure out about who they're sitting next to and who they're supporting. And then when it comes down the pike, you've got guys like Josh 2.0 who say things like, Benny, all that stuff on Doug's legs was photoshopped. That's the first problem, right? Because if fucking Josh knew anything, he would know that you can't use Photoshop on video. You'd use After Effects or Adobe, you'd use something else, right? Maybe, I don't know, anything. 4D, you'd use something different, right? So what are we actually looking at? We're looking at a whole group of true crime investigators that suck so bad that they won't and they can't even believe who and what they're standing next to. And then when they get caught in it, they'll never ever talk about it. Look at all the racists around Molly Go Lightly. We've went on a week-long racist exposing extravaganza. We've shown that every single person that went to Tennessee besides Olivia is racist. And somehow we don't feel like we need to talk about that. We need to continue to push forward and talk about shit, anything that has to do with anything else except for these people's actual, the synopsis of these people. Holy shit. Then you have situations like Doug and Josh. It's not going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever, especially with Doug. So as soon as Josh gets burnt up, what does he do? What do they all do? Come in and talk about the other one, and then talk about the shit that they didn't want to believe. Let me tell you what, Josh. I was cool with Doug until he started doing things online that put me in jeopardy, and also what correlated with him doing the wrong things that were putting me in jeopardy. I also found out about his legs. I was able to quit Doug because of his legs. Josh doesn't want to quit Doug. Doug makes Josh important. Josh, he's not important on his own, only to the skeptic. And you see Josh's response to the skeptic. Oh goodness, God forbid someone be smarter than the Josh. Because then he's just gonna make lame jokes, like call the skeptic the, what does he call him? The scientific bitch, or something like, wow, dude. You couldn't come up with anything a little bit scientific, like scientific conspiratorialist, scientific conspiracist. You could go on and on. It's the scientifical fallacy. Bad science. You could call it anything. But he doesn't. Just a real low rate, low rent shit, you know? Think that, hell yeah, you want to know how many people every single day were like, you got to get away from that dude. And still my loyalty is stood with Doug until Doug started doing things on the Cash Gurnan case, right? I was letting all of the boots on the ground stuff I was doing here in Dallas for Cash Gurnan, I was letting it go out on Doug's channel. And then Doug was behind the scenes telling people stuff because Doug wanted all the information. Anything that happened between me and Monica Sherrod, Doug had to have it. And as soon as I started telling him, no, Doug, no more, I'm not giving you anything more, he fucking turned. Then shortly after that, AV Watchman told me about Doug's legs. That's how I found out about Doug's legs, was AV Watchman. Go ask AV Watchman, Josh. He'll tell you. He looked at them fucking legs of Doug's every single day. Ask AV Watchman. I didn't make this up. Doug made it up. And then he showed AV Watchman. Then AV Watchman showed the rest of us. That's why AV Watchman doesn't mess with Doug. We know AV Watchman is Hispanic. Or Greek. He's Greek. Lakios is Greek. So he's not Caucasian. And I think AV even has some Hispanic in him, and so you just completely saw the decimation of Doug being able to be around anyone ethnic, right? Doug cannot be around anyone ethnic online, period, because as soon as he's on their live, you know, now all of a sudden these people are supporting a racist. If you cash at Doug money, you're supporting racism and the furtherance of hate. Stopping by my sister's house, make sure ain't nobody messing around over here at her house. I just never know what the fuck who she had coming around, what people was doing what. Mail. Holy shit. Going way up, I feel blessed. Way up, I feel blessed. Way up, I feel blessed. Pack of wild dogs. You better go home. You go home. Go home. Hey, you better go home too. Get home. They say that there is roughly about 3,000 to 5,000 dogs that are wild here in Dallas that are, you know, either been abandoned or you know, just plain feral. We have quite a problem with people getting attacked by dogs here that are just, you know, literally off the chain, right? So chickens, which are illegal here, but in the Hispanic neighborhoods, it's the alarm clock. I'm telling you, free alarm clock for everybody around. You know, I really start to think when you watch these people's behavior when they circumference an issue like we have right now, they circle around it like birds of prey. And I think that you could actually put into concept that these people have never really had a real tragedy, and for that you have to be thankful. Before I used to say things like, I think the reason people act like this is because they've had a tragedy in their life and they've not been adequately advocated for. I do believe some of that is the socioeconomic here. Some people have had tragedies and not had the proper advocacy that they felt like they needed. And so when they see other people being advocated for, it's a trigger. And they mean not what they do. They don't mean it, but they do. Some people do mean it. But then I think you have a large portion of the YouTube population that hasn't adequately had a tragedy that would, suffice them from doing what they're doing here. There's no other way around it. They just haven't had a tragedy. They've never seen the way you adult through a tragedy. And then that starts to bring it into a perspective for you, like, well, wow. You know what I mean? Like, you can't fault them because they actually don't know what they've done, what they're doing. I need an oil change. Like, yeah, let's get a car. Let's get a Honda that's got great gas mileage and all the above. Shit, but when it's time to get an oil change, it costs $100. You never swerve to get out of the way of a chicken in the road. That's not what they teach you to do in driver's ed. They teach you to push forward, right? Never swerve off the road for a chicken. Never. Good morning. I'm at the Fox. If you're from Dallas, you know what the Fox is. You only come to the Fox at nighttime. I mean, in daytime. Holy shit. The Fox ain't a nighttime establishment. Unless you got the big steel with you. Boy, you do not get involved with the Fox. They're making it more and more hard to tell what Dr. Pepper, you can't just reach in here. Yeah, a pig will tear the whole front off your car. A deer, they're dangerous too. People in Michigan would hit deer if their car was low enough or the deer was tall enough. You would hit it and it'd just trip it and then have it come right through the windshield on you. Can I get a pack of Newport 100s too, please, sir? Have a good day. Be careful, sir. Don't hurt nobody. With that big old pistola. Don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt nobody. This is really not the place to go. The bathroom at the Fox. Let's sell more dope in this bathroom than law allows. I'm sure this bathroom probably got a damn camera in it somewhere. All the dope they sell in this motherfucker, man. Thank you to Real GG. Yeah, they're nasty too. Well, god damn, this bathroom's what's nasty. Holy shit. You know, poor Emmett Till. Wasn't enough, was it? Just wasn't nasty enough. Gotta give white America a chance to outdo itself. Ooh-ah. Gotta give white America a chance to overdo it. Over fucking do it. Yeah, innocent. I'm so tired I can't even sleep right, man. It's hard, man. Because right now, today, selfishly, I wish my sister drunk called me last night, bothered me and all that shit. I wish that we would have had to have dealt with how to get her in a rehab this morning and how to get her in a casket. And I've had some people say, wow, Benny, you're being incredibly strong. I don't have a choice. I got no choice. I got no choice. They out here working, man. They out here working. Yeah, it's very exhausting. I mean, we're told our whole lives, you can save them, you can save this, you can save that, and it's until you've ever lost one that you couldn't save. Then and only then can you realize what saving somebody actually means. People have heard me say before, you can't save it, man. You can't save nobody. All you can ever hope to do is to motivate them enough where they want to help themselves. Then once they help themselves, you can say, you can take a part in the triumph of saying, I helped this person get straight, or I helped this person get cleaned up. You can say that then, you can claim the victory then. But anytime you fool yourself into thinking you can save somebody, you've already lost the battle. If you believe you can save someone, you might as well just stop now, because what's going to really end up happening is that you are going to hurt yourself trying to save someone when you don't even know you can't save them. I'm not sad for my sister. I have pity for her. I don't feel sorry for nobody that can change their situation all on their own. If you feel sorry for somebody that has the ability to change but won't, what you're doing is you're enabling them. And we don't feel sorry for people in addiction. We feel mad for them. We get pissed that they're in addiction. We don't want to help them find a way to become more familiar and more friendly with their fucking addiction. That's not what we don't help. We fight addictions, right? We don't never get involved in an addiction and say, man, I wonder how long I can enable this thing to go and how ugly I can help this thing get. That's not why we get involved. We get involved so as we can completely and absolutely decimate addiction or mental deficits or imbalances. I mean, it's the great thing about modern science, right? The great thing about modern science is if it hurts, they can take the pain away. And if you die, you never knew about it anyways. So what are we really scared of? Why are we scared? Why are any of us in this chat right now scared to take the next step? To admit that our life was unmanageable and to make a decision to turn our life and our will over to God as we understand Him, and be able to make a fearless, searching moral inventory of our resentments, why we're resentful, and what we plan on doing to repeal it. Because let me tell you what, the old homage is true. Only hurt people hurt people. So how do we get people to a point where they're no longer hurting? Because this is the deal. If you are a hurt person and you're hurting people here, guess what? You probably shouldn't be here. But the fact that you are is what creates the damaging, impossible environment. It's because you're fueled with hate, and your only mission during the course of the day is to make sure that someone else feels the hate that you have inside of you. Guess what? We do. We know it's there. I know the hate that some of these people on YouTube have. I've seen it well. I believe you. You do not have to try to enforce that upon me, superimpose that upon me, oppress me with that every single day. I believe you. It's like someone that's in the right-hand lane with their right blinker on, but they're taking forever to turn, and you're like, I believe you're going to turn right. Turn already. Unbelievable. I believe you. Go ahead and turn. Oh, man. We know that we can overcome tragedy. I think that just about all of us in here right now, we've all been forced to try to find our way through a tragedy. Some of us are climbing out of one now. Some of us are climbing down in one now. But that's the whole point. The whole point is to have tragedy, display grace, grieve and move on so that you can be a useful tool to someone else. That's what life's about. Life is about learning lessons the easy way if we can, and if not, then the hard way. But once we learn the lesson, it's instilled. You cannot unlearn it. You can't unthink it. You can't unsee it. You can't undo it. And so then what your responsibility becomes, like it or not, is to be spun around in a circle, set down by God, and let loose to find anyone that has the same conflictions that you have and help them work through it. That's what learning in the lesson and achieving the higher ground, that's what it's all about. It is about learning the lesson so that you can share it with someone else. What keeps us from sharing it? Well, maybe what keeps us from sharing it is that we don't fully understand what it is that we're supposed to be doing with the gift. Because let me tell you what, the light at the end of the tunnel is the gift. We go into every dark tunnel forgetting, most of us, that there is a light at the end. We have to be reminded, and when we get reminded, who is it by? It's by the people that have went down the same dark tunnel, and they remember and they saw it, and they can tell you there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It does not have to be this way forever. Guess what? If you don't work it, it doesn't work. If you're not working your grieving process and you're not fully GPSed at where you are in terms of your grieving process, where your longitude and latitude is in terms of your addictions, it's going to be very hard to make forward progress. Congratulations on everyone's sobriety. Congratulations to anyone that is going to work the steps. Anyone who is going to work that fourth step with us today and realize the power of your resentments. We think that, oh goodness, somebody flipped us off in traffic, right? We'll take that home, and maybe we'll talk ugly to our wives or our husbands or our children or our pets, or a stranger on YouTube. We'll take that out, something someone else did, instead of processing it and turning it into a blessing, a teachable, learnable moment. We take exactly what's given to us and we regurgitate for other people, because we know how badly it set us back to have went through and experienced the setback, and that because we're so broken inside of ourselves still, we want to effectively be able to translate that exactly as we interpreted it. We want to be able to give back the real punch that was given to us. We don't want to hold the punch, and we don't want to try to figure out how to become nonviolent and reciprocate this punch around into love. Turn what someone else does to you out of spite, out of malice, out of grief, out of anger, out of not being educated, unknowledgeable about where they are. Their sense of self-preservation is low. And because they don't care enough about themselves, then they can never care about you. See, if I care about myself and I call you my friend, you don't have to ask if I'm going to do right by you, because I'm doing right by me. That means to do right by you comes automatic. You are cloaked and you are umbrellaed in how I'm going to treat myself. If I'm treating myself properly, I'm going to treat you right automatically. Automatically. It goes without saying. Grief is not powerful. Guess what? Neither is this bag. It's garbage. Let me show you. Look where I'm at right now. I grew up playing basketball in this park. Right over there is the basketball court. Let me tell you what. This bag don't mean nothing. Well, the things in this bag mean something. The things in this bag are the things that I thought I was so man enough I would never need. It takes this to make me who I am today. Without these, I don't like the Benny that has been conditioned by the world to hate. Put these aside. Let's say you don't even need those, but you still got this paper bag. Throw it out the window. It's trash. It's nothing. But to someone that's in a moment of terror, you can take this bag and you can do like this. And this paper bag will give you a sense of clarity again. Just this bag. This bag is a memento from Tennessee. I keep my meds in it. But every time I look at it, it's a reminder. I'm going to have to throw it away soon. It's got holes in it. But this bag is nothing on its own. But in the hands of someone that knows the power of this bag, it becomes a life-saving tool. It means the difference sometimes. Just this bag. It means the difference. This bag has meant the difference between benzos or having to take benzos. Right? Our defense mechanisms or lack thereof are the things that make us have to take these things. I don't have all the defense mechanisms that everyone else has or should have. Nope. I sit here with a paper bag and my dead sister's mail. Let me tell you what, I'm pissed at Renew. Renew keeps sending the pills. Here they are right here. It's all my sister's pills. Same pills she took to kill herself. Right here. These are it right here. This was the next load. If the last load didn't kill her, this one was going to be the one. That's the sound of life, healing, growth. Moving on from tragedy. Or it's the sound you hear right before you mix a bottle of whatever's in here with a bottle of fucking whiskey. This could be that death rattle. Do you hear it? One of the things that's crazy about addiction, suicide and death, you start getting these. during your addiction. Anybody knows what this is? That's pink, right? That means you're getting ready to shut your shit off. After this one, they send a man over in a truck to shut your shit off. All of these. There's a red one. All of these at some point, they won't stop. They'll keep coming. And they'll come pink, pink. Then they'll turn red, saying, hey, twister, right? You got to see up and down my arms. Holy shit. Until I learned to be a phlebotomist, I sucked at it. Turns red. And they mean, hey, we're going to come over and fuck you up now. We need the money for this. No more. No más pesos. All of these will turn red. And they'll keep sending the pills. What do you think we did for years and years and years before they just used the bag? Do we think that the whole history of the world has had benzos or diazepines or fucking any shit, right? What do we think the world did to get by anxiety, to keep creating, to keep, inventing, to keep procreating? How did we ever get past the anxieties and the despairs without the benzos? Because what happens is the benzos and the alcohol and the fucking everything does. What it does is it relieves having to deal with your problem because you mask it, the pill. Let me tell you what. My sister had become so accustomed to looking for a magic pill. She just believed, my mother is an RN and she has been for many, 40 years. ER, occupational medicine, nuclear medicine, preventative medicine, radiology, the whole thing. And my mom, when people ask her what she does, she always tells them what she actually does. She says, I work in radiology and nuclear medicine. But then she always adds, without being prompted, she always adds, what I really do is hold the hands of the sick and dying. I believe it's because of my mother's views on tragedy and death that I'm able to navigate through my life, and I don't put more on death than death actually deserves. I've seen the twisted of the twisted. I've seen people just mangled, shot up, stabbed up, ran over. It's the shit you see in my city. And I remember those things that I've seen, not like, oh my God, it's a tragedy that someone else has went through. It's like, I don't want that to happen to me. Or how would my people handle if that happened to me? Because let me tell you what, This is the God's honest truth. I cried so many nights for my sister, with my sister, about her addiction and her behaviors. And, you know, my biggest worry was that, you know, it's this stereotypical age-old fear that you have with alcoholics that like to get behind the wheel. And it's that you're gonna kill someone. We know historically the drunk driver typically always makes it from the nastiest crashes. It's like, want to survive the nastiest car wreck you've ever seen? Have about 4 drinks before you get into it, and then you'll survive through in a penitentiary somewhere. See, people are on the way out. We can see it even when they're still full of vigor and lust for life and enamored with things. But if you can see something, there's 2 things you do. You try to be of assistance to motivate that person to clean up their own life and do better. Secondly, prepare yourself. You prepare yourself actually and factually that when you've come to make a decision about someone else's life, their being, their existence. In my sister's case, I knew what it was. I knew through a series of behaviors that my sister was what they call in the big book one of the unfortunates. And so I just prepared myself because I knew if you can't assist someone to get clean, what you need to assist is yourself and preparing yourself for the damage that hasn't come. Because when you live with someone else that's suicidal and has an addiction, no problem you're dealing with is the real problem. It's just the cover-up problem that helps you, you know, that blinds you from the problem that's on the way. You've heard me say it. These problems we deal with today, they're not the real problems. They just pacify us until the real one gets here. And then once that real problem gets here, if you've been stuck and surprised and you've been all of these other things, instead of prepared and made yourself powerful, right? My sister no longer has to be plagued and demoralized and helpless and in despair because of her addiction. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to do that. Not even one more minute. Not even one more minute. Right? Why offline does our pull from God and our pull, any God is going to want you to be of service. Any God is going to want you to be about love, peace, and forgiveness. That's what the Bible is essentially about. Don't we know this? The Bible is forgiveness and love. And so when we're here and we're caught in anything but forgiveness and love, what are we doing? We're doing the devil's dance. If you're not here to help the next person get over on their problems, what are you doing? Right? When you can look at all of the little tragedies or big tragedies that have taken place in your life or in your atmosphere, whatever. Let me show you what. I'm just going to the store right here. But 0.3 of a mile down this road, Cash Gurdon was butchered like an animal and sexually assaulted. And you mean to tell me you just got a problem with a pill? Fuck. You mean to tell me you just got a problem with booze or drugs? That's not a problem at all. Didn't start off as a problem, did it? It started off as something you wanted to do, that you progressed through knowingly. Mama Jan, then this work we're doing right now is to help you get to a place on the end of life's diving board, right? We're all on the end of life's diving board. Do we have enough substance inside of us to make that jump? New air freshener, Boys in the Hood. That's pretty cool. Time to remove this one. This is the Triple D. This is the Dallas Parks. That's how we got our nickname for the city, Triple D, 3 Ds. This is the Dallas Park and Recreations symbol, and we've taken it on as our whole city symbol, the Triple D. That smells good. It smells like weed and money. I'm just kidding. Good talking to you, Coat. I know who you are. That was a good talk. Thank you for calling me. I needed that. I needed that. This dude just locked his wife in the car. Okay. So, I guess what the moral of the story is that tragedies, no one owns them. No one is the principal owner of any tragedy. And the way that tragedies are to be dealt with is with the old homage, right? Many hands make light work. That's the way tragedy is supposed to be handled. Openly, with help. Wake up, Benny. Stay away from drugs. That's cute. Real cute this morning. I'm not gonna swerve. You know, there's a lady here, kidneyformaryjo.org. There's a lady here that she has a QR code for a kidney. Think what I'm thinking? I'm gonna go back and see if my kidney won't match her kidney. She needs a kidney. I got 2. She can get one of them. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're We're going to go see. It feels like God's probably saying, Benny, you have a kidney that will work for her. Would you give it to her? You absolutely damn right I would. Shit. Fuck, I don't need both of them. Yep, you watch. I'm going to end up being a match for that lady. It's the way God works in my life. I'm going to end up being a match. And I would give that lady my kidney, man. Fuck you, man. It ain't shit but a thing. It's just a kidney. Hell, a whole bunch of us live with not all our fingers or not all our arms and toes and legs and... Case, I love you. No, for real, man. I'm gonna go see if God has put me in that lady's life and I don't even know about it, right? You say we're always looking for a sign, right? God, show us a sign. I think I literally just saw a sign. I literally just saw a sign. Whoa. I don't know who's deciding. You know, I think that you can take that job to the road, right? I'm sure what that is that if that's a situation where they're pleading for the public that if you have a kidney, they'll buy it. Man, how am I going to sell you something God gave me for free? That's the ultimate exploitation, man. Oh, shit. Holy shit. That's the ultimate exploitation. Let me sell you something God gave me. It is a sign, Philip. I just saw a sign, and I'm sure the way that my God works, I'll go back and scan that thing, and it's going to ask for some information, and I'm going to put that information in, and I'm going to be good for it. You watch. I promise you. Oh, it's the way. Oh, Tracy, see? Oh, shit, man. We need to find this lady. We need to find this lady a damn kidney, man. I think we may have just found a mission, man. We're going to find this lady a kidney. Kidneys it is. Fuck you mean. I left my computer. That sucks. I have to use a different one. Gigi, it's part of life though, right? It's okay. You didn't ruin it. You went on a mission, right? And you came back stronger from that mission than when you left. It just cost you a kidney. Hell, that ain't shit. That's why the great God gives us two of most of everything that's important. Right? So if you lose one, you can still keep it going. I don't know. I'm going to go back and find out. Thank you, Christine. I'm going to go back and find out. Yeah, it's some big old crows. $14.88, Dougie. Wow. So I'm here with the family. I'm going to wake everybody up, see if I can make breakfast or go buy breakfast or whatever they want us to do. It's the first next day in the rest of our lives. I love all you guys. I will give an update about Miss Karen's, that's her name, Miss Karen's kidney. And see what we can do, right? It's all we can do is see what we can do. I love all of you guys. I hope you have a great, my sister had one daughter. I have a niece. Hello. Anyways, I will see you guys here in a couple of hours. I'm going to figure out what I can do, how I can do this step 4, this fourth step. I left my house without the computer. So even if we have to do it from here and I use another computer to kind of help direct us through this thing. So if you guys want to go look at my community channel, on my community channel, if you are going to be taking part in the 4th step that we're doing today, what I will need you to do is get paper and pen or paper and pencil or computer notes or whatever. And I need you to create a columnized list like it is shown on my community page, and then we will walk through it together. I will get you guys on track for the kind of things that we're looking for, and then I'm going to cut you loose, and I want you to fill out your fourth step, fearless and searching, right? Stay safe and sober, guys. I love you all. I'll see you in a couple of hours. If any of you need me before then and you know how to contact me, please do. If you don't know how to contact me and you need to, just reach out in the comments, and I assure you one of the lovely ladies will appoint you